Hello my dear friends, Risa here from the NutriNet. For those of you who do not know who I am a nutritionist and founder of the NutriNet, which is a nutrition coaching practice that teaches you how to eat in a way that's in alignment with your body, with your mind, with your soul, and with the planet, because we cannot leave out sustainability when we're talking about healthy eating and about nutrition and about living. So for today's video, I want to share with you why it's so important for you to take care of your body every single day, and also the planet. But we'll get to that towards the end of the video. Let's start with the body component, right? From a nutrition point of view, it's very common that I get clients coming up to me or friends or even you guys commenting with me, right? I used to eat this my whole life and all of a sudden I started developing these symptoms. I don't know why. Tell me why, Risa. Okay, so you're not alone if this happened to you or if you know anybody that did go through that. For this, I'm going to use the example of milk, right? If you think about it, we are designed to have milk when we are babies, as newborns, right? So our bodies know this and it produces whatever it needs to break down that type of protein, the type of sugar, everything, right? That is designed specifically for the milk. As we get older, we're not really meant to be having milk anymore. And that's why it's so common that people start developing sensitivities to the sugar specifically of milk. I'm talking about lactose. So if you heard that, lactose free, all that stuff, lactose is the sugar found in milk. We have an enzyme in our bodies called lactase that is great for breaking down lactose, right? However, as we age, oftentimes we produce that enzyme in a more inefficient way, let's say. So we become a little bit more inefficient breaking down the sugar, and then we start getting these symptoms like bloat is a very common one, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is our bodies are actually really, really super duper efficient in bouncing back from whatever we throw it our way, right? We throw it its way. So think about this, those nights that you went out in parties and you didn't sleep properly, or when you went on vacation and you did not eat a single vegetable for an entire week. So think about those moments and how your body handled it. Now you might have gotten a little bit tired or felt some symptoms here and there, but nothing too biggie, right? Like your body does a pretty good job in storing whatever it needs for those dates, right? Like whenever you don't get those vitamins, those minerals. So that's why it stores things to save for those specific occasions where it's gonna need to use that storage, right? But here's the thing, the amount of I'm gonna say damage, the amount of damage or the amount of negative things that we throw its way is sometimes so high that it becomes very hard for it to handle and for it to bounce back. And when we're younger, it's typically more efficient in doing this, right? And as we start getting a little bit older, it starts getting tired. It starts taking longer to bounce back. And it's like, whoa, girl, take it easy. That's when you start getting all the symptoms that we typically joke about once you start hitting your 30s, or your 40s, or even your 20s, to be honest. I feel we're starting to experience this younger and younger because we're just doing so much to our bodies that we're not loving our bodies properly. Let's just put it that way, okay? So yeah, you start experiencing indigestion, we start experiencing like heartburn, migraines, all of these things. And if you stop to think about it, it's not about taking medication to patch up or to take care of that symptom. Whenever you start experiencing this is actually time for you to take a step back and to think about, okay, what can I be doing better for my body? Why is it behaving this way? Because those symptoms are messages. They are not there just to bother you or, to give you a hard time. They are your friend in a sense because they are saying, listen, something that you're doing is not working for me. You have to stop, you have to listen, or things are gonna get real.
That was a lot.
And what do I mean when I say things are gonna get real? That's when you ignore long enough these symptoms, that's when you start developing diseases, right? So you don't want to ever get to that point because then it's when you actually you're forced to listen to it, and a lot of times with medication. And there are things that are very preventable and that you can just take care of before it gets to that stage, right? So again, symptoms are not a bad thing. They are our messengers. They're kind of an alarm clock that is setting off, not alarm clock, it's an alarm. Your body is setting off alarms so you can listen. So how is that even related to the planet? Because I did tell you that I was going to dive into the whole planet situation. So think of everything that I said and replace the idea of our bodies with the actual planet, with the environment. The symptoms like the headache, the indigestion, all that stuff, that is kind of what we're going through right now if you think about it. The hurricanes, the fires, the amount of plastic that's in the oceans, animals that are going into extinction, you know, like forests. I said florist. That's because in Portuguese it's floresta. So forest, the forests that are, you know, people that were destroying the trees and all that stuff. So think about that. Those are all symptoms. Like the planet is sending us a very clear message that what we're doing, the amount of depletion that like the amount that we're taking from it is getting to its breaking point. And that's why we have to stop, we have to pay attention, we have to listen, and we have to start doing our part, not only for our bodies, but also for the environment. And that's why I started getting into this journey of combining both of them, because honestly, I was starting to find it very hard to talk about nutrition and not dive into these topics, because I always say this, right? Where does our nutrition come from? It comes from the planet. Like our food comes from nature, right? Our fruits, vegetables, and even if you eat meat and all that stuff, it all is coming from the environment. And if we destroy that, there's no way for us to survive. There's no way for us to exist in this world without it. So leaving that thought there, okay? From both, don't ignore those headaches, don't ignore that indigestion or those little aches and pains. At the same time, also whenever you see in the news that something like there's a new fire or like the hurricanes that are hitting, and I say hurricanes a lot because I used to live in Miami, now I live in Orlando, but the hurricanes still are a very big part of the Florida life. So yeah, we have been noticing a lot of those little symptoms, and it's time for us to do something about it. And it's not time for us to start panicking. Okay?
Right, so you just went really far this time.
Last thing you want to do is feel overwhelmed, right? And that's what I'm here. That's what I'm trying to kind of show you what has worked for me. And I find that a really good place to start your sustainability journey is actually through nutrition. And that's why I created the Green Way, which is my online course. And I'm going to share with you guys the link if you do want to check it out. Well, that is my message for you this week. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and talk to you soon.